If you want to grab our men's lifestyle supplement and male advantage ebook, all links are in the bio. But on the left, that's just some normal guy that you would walk past on the street, okay? Nothing special, just normal guy. I mean, there's not a lot you can really say about that. You'd probably walk past that guy on the street and not really think anything about it. Guy on the right, he's made his character, okay? He's built his hypermasculine character. He's got the flamboyant shades. He's shaved his head, so it's like a fuck you to the world, like I don't care. He's grown the beard out, he's got the stubble, it's looking like sleek and sexy. He's got the open silk shirt, okay? It's probably like 4 buttons undone. He's got the big chest tattoo. Like, that's a completely different human being operating on a different level of confidence, guys, okay? Okay guys, welcome back to another video. The reason, if you're wondering why I don't have a t-shirt on, it's like 40 degrees in here, okay? It's absolutely boiling. I kitted this place out for winter. I like put in insulation and shit like that and like put some stuff over the windows, and I wasn't prepared for summer, and now I'm roasting. In the UK, it's never usually this hot, okay? So that's the reason I've not got a t-shirt on. If you want to, while I had my top off, I took a quick video of my abs as well. I thought they looked pretty good. So here's an update of my abs. This is kind of the shape I'm in. I'm feeling pretty good right now. About exactly pretty much 2 months left until I finish my cut. I'm aiming for 10% body fat. I don't really know what I'd be at the moment. If I measured it properly, who knows? But body fat's coming off step by step. So yeah, that's all that really matters at the end of the day. As long as you feel good, look good, and you're making steady progress, okay? Now, the purpose of today's video, which is, it's kind of strange that I've actually got my top off because it kind of ties in perfectly. I didn't do that on purpose, I swear to God. But it's kind of based around exaggerated male stereotypes, okay? And the two topics I want to touch on, is going to be a video of 2 halves. The first half is going to be regarding how life is a game of 2 halves, okay? I'm going to break down a lot of, when I talk about patience, when I talk about being frugal in the early days, etc., and work-life balance, and how it is a game of a split, okay? There's one half, then there's another half. Then I'm going to show you some examples of men who have kind of, this is the second half of the video, which is going to be probably the half that most people look forward to, which is creating your hyper-masculine character. Okay, and I'm going to show you some examples. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to show you how so many guys over the years have created a hyper-masculine character and kind of played on the fact of, just played on masculinity to the highest possible level in order to elevate their careers and who they are. And the true you comes out at a certain stage, okay, when certain things happen. And that's what I want to go through. I think it's one of the most important videos for men in terms of male growth and masculinity. I think it's going to be a good one. Okay, but the first part of this video, I want to talk about how life is a game of 2 halves for men, okay? So I always tell you guys to be patient, okay? To be patient, to take your time with your business, your 9-to-5 job, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, because for men, life is a long game, okay? We peak later. We peak about 12 years later than women. We get time to kind of put all these things in place, and so many guys are like rushing things, trying to be rich tomorrow. They're pushing their decision-making forward at, too quick a rate, and they haven't really thought about things, and they end up making bad decisions that are based around finances rather than future growth and stability of like a business or their 9-to-5 job or their investments or whatever it is. Their decisions are poor, okay? They always make decisions in the short term. Now, a lot of guys get confused with this. They always say, Chris, isn't it good to have a level of urgency? Isn't it good to push forward in life? Why be patient? Can't we just, that'll make you lazy. But this is the thing, right, guys? I'm not saying you should sit around and go, I'm not going to peak until I'm 30. Chris said it's fine. The male advantage isn't even here yet. I've got time to fuck around. It's not what I'm saying at all, okay? If you can become a billionaire in a week, do it. Which you won't be able to. If you become a millionaire in a year, very unlikely. Again, probably not going to happen. My idea on patience is that it's a necessity. Okay, it's something that you can't really get around. It's just something that you have to do. It's just a roadblock, okay? It's like you cannot drive down a road that hasn't been built yet. And that's what so many guys are trying to do. They're trying to run before they can walk. The driving down a road before it's built yet is probably the best example, okay? They're hoping that they can just show up and just drive straight away, and it's like nothing's been laid, there's no track, you haven't even got wheels on your car. There's just a lot of things in life that you're not going to be able to get across, okay? It's like if you're from a poor family, you turn 18, the chance of you being rich by like 25, 30 is very, very slim, because you're probably going to have to go and get a job, pay all the bills, whatever, help the family out, help yourself out, get yourself on your feet where you do have like, I don't know, 20, 30,000 saved up, and then you can execute. Well, this is going to take time, okay? Some young kid who's like 18 and his mum and dad give him like 50,000 when he turns 18, it's a different scenario, okay? And this is why I always promote for men patience. Taking your time, taking it steady, because a lot of the time you cannot go forward even though you want to. Like my next big batch of supplements that I've ordered, I've perfected them. I've done everything I could to make this work long term. They're arriving in September, okay? I want them here today. Like, don't get it confused. I want them here today. I'd love to come on video right now and go, guys, go and buy all the supplements. Go and buy them. Like, just sell them out in fucking 2 days. Like, lovely. Okay. 30 grand just went into my bank account. Thanks, guys. That was a great month. You know, that ideally, but the chances of, like, they're gonna be here in September. I cannot fast forward that. There's nothing I can do. I would love to, but the manufacturers have to make them. They have to ship them. Then I have to sell them. Then I have to, send them off. Sometimes you just have to relax and be patient in that sense. It's like with the fitness journey. Yeah, ideally, I'd love to click my fingers, go through another bulk and another cut, and then be back here and be like, okay, great. I'm now 92 kg and whatever percentage body fat I am right now. Perfect. Okay, I'm even bigger, and I'm just as lean as I was before. Like I'd love to do that, but I know there's going to be another year of bulking then cutting before I've got what I would refer to as close to my ideal body or my genetic potential. There's not a lot I can do about that. I kind of have to wait a year. I have to be patient before I step into my male advantage. Now, it's not going to go from shit to good. I'm enjoying myself right now. I'm getting a lot more female attention. I'm getting a lot more compliments and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, I feel good about myself. My confidence is up. I feel great. I feel like I look pretty good. It's fine, but I know that it can be better. But in order to get to that better, I can't rush it. Like, what can I do? 2 gym sessions? It just doesn't really, 1 is sufficient every single day. You're not going to get too many better results. You're just going to fuck up your body. Then you're going to have to change your diet and whatever to compensate for the extra training. It's like, there's not a lot you can do to fast forward a lot of shit. Okay? So when I'm telling you guys life is a game of 2 halves, like being frugal in the early stages, when I'm saying to you guys, live like shit, have shit stuff, like I wear tank tops every day. I've got a pair of trainers on right now that I wear to the gym pretty much every day. And then in summer, I've been wearing them pretty much every day because it doesn't bother me. That's in the early stages because I can put all my money back into my business. I can make investments with that money. I can turn that into something better. Okay, what you don't want to do, guys, is be like, look, yesterday I was walking to the gym, okay? I don't have a car because I don't see the point in having one. I don't want to pay tax, insurance, fuel. I don't want to pay for services and maintenance and tire changes and all this shit. Plus the car. It's like a 10 grand a year thing. I think that 10 grand could go into the supplements or the clothing or whatever. I don't see the point. I walked to the gym and it was on the way back. I was walking back from the gym and there was like 2 guys in a BMW. They must have been like 18 years old. It was like a 20 grand BMW riding down the road playing music. And I was like, you're far too young to have that car. Far too young to have that car. Like, yeah, you might be some absolute trade-in prodigy or something like that, but based on the area I'm in, I very much doubt that, okay? Most people go and get a job, and as soon as they get that job, they go, okay, now that I'm earning $1,500 a month, I can get a car on finance because it's only $300 a month. That's fine. I'm living at home with my parents. This is the dumb decision-making that I don't like. This is why I promote patience. Because, yeah, we'd all want a nice 20 grand BMW at 18 years old. But what that tends to lead to is 28, 38-year-old bum, okay? With no money, wasted all the lump sums that he had, threw them down the drain, the car depreciates, now you've got nothing to show for it. Like, there's a lot of that going on, okay? There's a lot of fronting going on. There's a lot of people like trying to pretend that they're doing better than what they actually are. It's not the smartest strategy, and that is why I always promote to you guys patience, frugality in the early days, okay? But this is why life is a game of two halves. A lot of people say work-life balance. Dan Pena says there is no such thing as work-life balance, okay? I disagree with both. I don't think there is a work-life balance day-to-day. I don't agree with Dan Pena in a sense, okay? As in, I personally think Dan looks like shit. I think he doesn't look healthy. He looks kind of like podgy. I don't think he's ever looked in shape. He's not exactly been like a sex symbol. Like, not many guys would say, oh, my ideal lookalike is Dan Pena. Do you know what I mean? He's made a lot of money, but outside of that, it's not the ideal life, okay? And that, in my opinion, is because he's only worked. He doesn't have the balance of the life that goes with it. My kind of play on this is that the first half of your life, or as quick as you can make this shit happen, that is work, okay? And the other half is life. Now, you're still going to work, but you've got momentum. It's a lot easier. So I've always promoted you guys fitness and success, fitness and success, fitness and success when you're young. Nothing else matters, okay? But what about a great personality? Look, fitness and success. Forget about the rest of the shit. They're going to carry the most weight. If you've got a personality, that's a but working on it, like fitness and success will get you pretty fucking far in life, okay, guys? So if you just knock those two on the head as early as possible, maybe you get it done by like 34 years old, then you can start doing the life thing afterwards, okay? Then you can start enjoying yourself a lot more. You can start doing all the other stuff that I'm talking about, okay? And this is when we transition, and we're going to see this now in the second half, into the exaggerated male stereotypes, okay? So creating your hypermasculine character. Now, I know this sounds weird, but there's so many guys that have created this hypermasculine character, okay? And I'm going to bring this up on screen now. This is Dan Bilzerian. Now, one thing I want to say before all of this, to break this down and explain it properly to you, it's not necessarily creating a hypermasculine character in order to get women. It's not, it does, of course, but it's not a hypermasculine character because you're faking it, okay? And this is a story I want to tell. It's about my dad. My dad was always like the tough guy in the area. I gelled my hair before school. He was like, what the fuck are you doing? You look, like, it was 20 years ago, so he was like, oh, you look gay. It was that kind of era, okay? My dad's not like that. He's not homophobic, whatever. But back then, it was normal to be like, that looks gay. That looks, what you doing? He's dead now as well, so you can't even give him shit, so fuck you. But he was that old school type of man. When he got older, he did have stage 4 cancer, but he moved to Barcelona, okay? So this man should have been in poor health, should have been having a shit life. He was living in Barcelona. I went to visit him. I turn up. He's there with... Okay, so this is a guy who didn't want me to gel my hair when I was younger. This is a guy who is hyper masculine. Like, if you had a fight with him, you're dead. Like, everybody always says, your dad is the toughest, coolest guy I've ever met in my life, right? Just old school man, just strong as an ox. Can fight like fuck. Just proper hyper aggressive. He sat there in Barcelona with like 3 beautiful women on each side. He's wearing like a leather jacket, a nice white t-shirt. He's wearing like brand new shoes and jeans. He's got like shades on. He's got the full shaved head with a nice little bit of stubble, which he never used to do before. And he's looking like a fucking gangster, speaking Spanish. And I was like, Jesus, like, you're the hype. You've created your character. Like, this is who this is the key point, okay, guys? This is who you actually wanted to be. And this is what a lot of people forget, is like, when people say money enhances you, money makes you a worse person, it's like, no, it just amplifies what you already are, or what you'd want to be. Like, one of my friends once said to me, he was like, why don't you go and get a nice car, a nice haircut, like, go and, like, get some suits and stuff, and, like, start balling, and, like, you can get some nice girls and whatever. And I was like, no, I know those things will happen. It's just not the right timing yet. Like, I've got to put all my money into my business and whatever, and what I'm trying to do and whatnot. And it's not, like, people don't understand. It's not that you don't want those things, okay? Like, the real me loves balling. Like, the person who I eventually want to be will be wearing fucking sunglasses and silk shirts and shit like that. We'll probably have like some £250,000 car. We'll probably be flying on jets and whatever. And then people go, oh, you've changed. It's like, no, that was the you that you always wanted to be. That's the real you coming together, okay? That's the real you coming out. Like my dad's, he was able to be the real him because he didn't have that pressure of like the area that he was in. Oh, you're the tough guy. Oh, it's unusual for you to wear something like that. So when he moved and he was in a different city, he created his new character. He was able to evolve, and he created this hyper masculine, surrounded by women, loads of money, you know, speaking 2 languages, going out with all these girls, nice shoes on and whatever, you know, the sunglasses, the little bit of stubble, you know, he was like some fucking mob boss. He looked like Pablo Escobar every time he went out. Like, people honestly thought he was like in some gang or something. It's funny, you know, like the nice leather jacket and the white shirt, and he was hitting the gym. He got up to like 16 stone. He looked fantastic, even with cancer. And he's creating that hyper masculine character because he was able to. It's like if you're at a 9-to-5 job, you're probably not allowed to take your tie off and undo 3 or 4 buttons. Okay, even though you'd like to, that's the image you want to portray to the world, but you're not allowed. You're not allowed to sit in the office with shades on. You're probably not allowed tattoos. You're definitely not allowed face tattoos. Your hair has to be cut like a certain way, within reason, okay? You can't come in with like red braids. You know, you can't come in with just like an exaggerated... Let's say Conor McGregor opens his shirt up and he's got a fucking gorilla tattoo on his chest. The boss is going to be like, dude, like, do the buttons up. Like, you can't do that. Like, maybe outside of work, but not here. So most people end up not going down that route. They end up fitting into like a criteria of normal civilian life because they're able to get a job. They're not wealthy enough to get away with it. You know, like celebrities, they just make themselves look fucking exaggerated in all areas. They like just go for it. They wear whatever they want. The average civilian cannot do that because number one, they don't have the confidence to do it. Number two, they don't have the money. You know, once you get these things, you go, fuck, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Now I can be who I've always wanted to be. Okay, you can create that image of you that you always wanted to be. And a lot of guys go down the hyper masculine route. And it's very interesting to see. And I'll bring up on screen now Dan Bilzerian, okay? And you look at Dan on the left-hand side. Yeah, he's got the gun and the sunglasses and whatever, but he still just looks like a dad, okay? He's not really brought it all together. It doesn't look too good. And then on the right-hand side, he's probably like 5-6% body fat less. You can tell he's getting like... You can tell like he's probably had his hair dyed or thickened up or like certain things replaced. It just looks so much stronger. He's grown the big masculine beards. I don't know about his eyebrows, can't really see him, but he's definitely getting beard, haircut, shape-ups. Like, he's getting a proper grooming routine. You can tell he's like getting facials or whatever. Like, his skin just looks so much better. He's obviously wearing the leather jacket with it wide open and the big barreled chest and the big neck and the abs popping out. Like, there's just a certain image that you're able to portray to the world when you get up to a certain point in life. And we'll look at another one now. Okay, so we got Conor McGregor here now. Look at the difference, okay? On the left is just some skinny, normal guy that you'd see on the street. Yeah, he's maybe a little bit ripped, but, you know, there's a lot of junkies that look like that too. But then on the right-hand side, look, he's got the slick back hair. He's got the big, bushy beards. He's got the much bigger, more masculine frame that he's worked on. He's got a tattoo, for fuck's sake, of his own name across his abdomen. He's got a tiger and a silverback gorilla. I think he's like eating a heart or something. And then he's obviously got the forearm tattoo. That's a different human being, guys. That's a completely different person. Now, he's able to do that because of the position that he put himself in life, okay? As he rose up, as he became more of a star, he became more outgoing, he became more confident, he was able to express himself how he wanted to actually express himself, and this is the way he did it. Now, that wouldn't fit in with normal civilian life, but in like, once you're wealthy enough to have that freedom to do whatever the fuck you want to do, he's able to create this hyper-masculine character, and it's almost like video game characters, like people do it all the time. Like, let's look at another one. Okay, so we got Andrew Tate here. Everybody knows this guy. He's one of the only guys in the industry that I actually really admire. I think that's him on the left. It just looks so different. I know he's got a brother, but I'm pretty sure that is him on the left, okay? But on the left, that's just a normal guy. That is, yeah, look, he's got the same forehead, right? That's definitely the same guy. But on the left, that's just some normal guy that you would walk past on the street, okay? Nothing special, just normal guy. Just, I mean, there's not a lot you can really say about that. You'd probably walk past that guy on the street and not really think anything about it. Guy on the right, he's made his character, okay? He's built his hypermasculine character. He's got the flamboyant shades. He's shaved his head, so it's like a fuck you to the world, like I don't care. He's grown the beard out. He's got the stubble. It's looking like sleek and sexy. He's got the open silk shirt, okay? It's probably like 4 buttons undone. He's got the big chest tattoo. Like, that's a completely different human being operating on a different level of confidence, guys, okay? And this is one thing that people don't realize happens once you kind of get money or success, or you move up, or you get that freedom in life, is you start expressing yourself of who you really are. Like, my dad was talking about architecture. I was like, this is the toughest man ever. And he's talking about architecture and, you know, why it's great to learn languages. And I was like, this man's become very cultured, but he was able to become who he wanted to become once he had that freedom, living in a different country, spare money, you know, and he was just fucking enjoying himself. He was being who he wanted to be. He went and got tattoos as well. I forgot about that. He went and got tattoos on both of his arms. He built a new character. He just became who the fuck he wanted to become all of his life, but the money was the kind of access to that, okay? We got another one here. We got Rick Ross. Look at Rick Ross on the left, okay? Just some fat, normal guy, just wearing shit fashion, like, it's shit haircut. Like, it's just, there's nothing there to really be too proud of, okay? And then on the right-hand side, he's got the big, masculine, shaped-up beard. He's got the face tattoos, the flamboyant shades. He's wearing silk fucking pajamas with fucking king cards on, which is obviously a statement. You know, he's got the tattoo on his chest here. He's got the open buttons, like 3 or 4 undone. He's got the rings, the watch. He's displaying his wealth to the world. Again, it's like, and he looks like, on the left, he looks like a pussy. On the right, he looks like some sort of boss. Obviously, he's trying to show off his tattoo. It's not like some sexy look, but you know, it's just like it's a hyper masculine build. That's what it is. Like, people are building their characters. And then probably my favorite of all time. When I saw this, it was so funny. Like, on the left-hand side, you got young Deontay Wilder. Normal haircut, no beard, no stubble, like a couple of tattoos, whatever. And he has got a naturally, obviously, jacked frame. But he's just a normal guy. Like, he's a normal super athlete, okay? But in terms of like his looks, he's just a normal guy, not really doing too much. Just, I know he's training, but doesn't look like a superstar, okay? But once that money comes in, people transition to the hyper masculine role of the superstar, and this is something that everybody can build over time. And you look at him now on the right hand side; he's got the custom haircut, okay? I think he's got braids with like the side shaved, and then it's like a little ponytail at the back. It's pretty fucking cool. It's just like his own style. Then he's got the hyper masculine beards. It's all shaped up. It's strong, makes him look more like an alpha. He's got the flamboyant shades on, like we said earlier. The face is more chiseled. He's getting like facials and probably doing facial workouts or something. He's got the fur coat on with no t-shirt. I mean, it's almost like an oxymoron. Are you cold or hot? Which is it? But it doesn't fucking matter. Because you're the boss now. You got your hyper masculine role. He's got the jewelry on, the tattoos on show, the abs on show. You know, he's absolutely balling. And then he's got his beautiful woman by his side. You know, and she's dressed to the maximum as well. He's probably paid for all these clothes. She's like showing the hyper feminine role. She's got like the titties on show. You know, like basically like her entire torso is on show. She's got tattoos there. It's like unapologetically sexy, okay? Like everything on show, just flashing it to the world, like wealth and skin, okay? All at once. And this is what happens, okay, guys? Like, people just build their their hyper masculine role. Like, guys say to me on this channel, "Oh, Chris, if you dress better, you'd get more followers. If you why don't you go out and buy a car and like start just flying around the world and enjoying yourself? Why don't you?" And it's like, guys, eventually, yeah, some of this shit's going to take place. Like, September, I'll be getting the, like, SMP. I'll be as lean as I can possibly be probably that year without just getting annoyed with it. you know, and then a year later I would have bulked again and cut back down to like 10% body fat. So I'll have a full head of hair. I'll be like 92 kg with 10% body fat. And I believe in the next year I'm going to put away about, there's hundreds of thousands coming in this year, guaranteed. I might end up being a millionaire by 30 quite comfortably. Who knows, but I might end up being a millionaire by 30, okay? So at 30 years old, I might be sat there with the shades on, and my own shirts that I'm making with the strong collar, they might be popping up, 3 or 4 buttons undone, this hyper masculine frame, completely lean. You know, I'm going and getting shape up, so I'm getting, because I'll have SMP on top, get like a skim fade around the side, and it's like, this is a different guy. Oh, Chris, I didn't know you were like that. And it's like, you know, like hopping out of a £250,000 car. And people are going, damn, this guy like really upped his game. He really changed. No, it's the same guy. It's the same person. It's just I lived a life of two halves. I was frugal. I was disciplined. I stayed away from all that shit. Deontay Wilder right now, training in the gym, doesn't look too good. The second half of it, he's still training and all the other shit, but he's allowed to be flamboyant. He's got the money to do it. He can express who he really wants to be. And this is something that a lot of guys don't realize, is they try and play all their cards too early. Wait, because the real you, who you want to be, you can do it all eventually, okay? You can express that eventually. And it really does fucking improve your life. But in the early days, all of that time and everything, like, you're two different people. You go from this guy who's disciplined and, you know, just focused on one singular goal or two singular goals, like I said, gym and success. And then after that, you're showing up at a fucking rooftop bar in a chinchilla coat with a chest tattoo and whatever you want to do. I'm not saying everyone has to go and get a tattoo. I'm just saying, like my dad's example, he was then able to be who he wanted to be. Like, I know exactly who I want to be. I know the exact masculine kind of character that I want to build. It's just what I find cool. There's certain shit that I just like, and it's like, that's who I want to be. That's the image I want to portray to the world. But the road isn't built yet. The road isn't built. If I went out and did all the things that I want to do, I went and bought the £250,000 car. If I went and bought like the baller villa somewhere, whatever, like a Miami villa, if I started buying all this extra shit, you know, I might be left with nothing. And then I'm going, damn, the business is suffering. You know, I can't reinvest. I can't put money into this. I can't, you know, it's not secure yet. Is it making $1 million a month? No. Okay, so how the fuck are you going to fund the streaming platform? See what I mean, guys? Like this, you've got to live a life of two halves. You've got to live like shit. And then when you transition, it's time to build your male character. That's the real you. You know, if you ask yourself the question, okay, if you weren't in your 9-to-5 job right now and somebody put 10 million in your account, image-wise, what are the first couple of things you do? Everyone's buying new clothes, okay? But I guarantee a lot of you guys are getting tattoos from like shoulder to wrist, okay? Shoulder to wrist, like a 16 grand fucking sleeve, like a top level one. Some of you guys are dyeing your hair fucking yellow because you've always wanted to. Although it's just blonde, isn't it? Some of you guys are dyeing your hair like red or blue because you've always wanted to. Some of you guys are getting like a sexy man bun with like a groomed up beard or something like that. It's just like whatever image you want to portray to the world. Some of you are rolling around like McGregor was, with like the shades flicked up, the fur coat, whatever. Like, some of you are wearing, like, some of you might up it just to one little level where it's like, I'm going to wear white jeans. Oh, that's a massive risk. But it's like, you've got the confidence to do it. I swear to God, every rich guy that I know wears weird fashion. They dress a little bit weird. I had a boss before who showed up in like it was like a Jesus piece silk shirt. It was like a crucifix picture on it. It was like, and he had about 4 buttons undone, and this guy is like close to 60 years old. But he wanted to feel sexy. He's got loads of money. He doesn't give a fuck. He's probably like, yeah, I'm going to be flamboyant. I'm going to push it. I'm going to push this out. I once had a boss that used to turn up in like weird shades and weird hats, and he used to have like custom clothes that he made that nobody has ever seen. You just express who you want to be once you get that money, once you get that success. You're more confident. You're like, okay, I'm going to portray whatever image I want to the world. But a very good one to do is the hypermasculine one. And as we saw there was 5 examples of guys. Once men get money, they become, testosterone goes up the more money you have. They found this, okay? But when guys get more money, they become hypermasculine. They chase after the shit they really want. They go and fuck 5 girls in one night. They put 3 girls in the back of their car and they're just driving around and oh, it's my 3 girlfriends. Do you know what I mean? Like, guys just start doing crazy shit. They just get completely carried away. But that's what I'm saying, is you've got to build this character at some point. It's just in that first half of your life, you've got to be patient. In that second half, you can be whoever you want to be. You know, like I showed the transitions there, those 5 guys. They were bums. Every single one of those 5 guys were bums beforehand. And then on the other side of the coin, they're all bosses of the world that most guys aspire to look like, be like, walk like, talk like, dress like. You know, the women that are on their arms, every guy wants. Like, there's a transition, okay? There's a transition from normal, average civilian to, I now have ultimate freedom. Nobody's telling me what to do. I don't have to fit in with society's norms. I can dress, behave, look however I want and can be completely unapologetic about it because I have fuck you money. That's what I'm going to do. I've always wanted to get a massive nose piercing. I've always wanted to get 3 piercings up here, 2 here. Like, I've always wanted to get one of those little rubber bands and tie like a Viking level scrunchy sort of shit going on. You can do it now. And the thing is, once you have money and you do it correctly and it becomes an image, everybody goes, oh, it's really cool. Girls are like, oh, it's really sexy. Like, it becomes you. That's who you really are. But it's completely up to you guys. Of course, like, it could be the other way. You might want to like dampen it down, but most guys go through the hypermasculine transition. It's just really cool to see. If you want to grab our men's lifestyle supplement and male advantage ebook, all links are in the bio.